What up? Good Sunday morning. Happy Easter. Hey, Deborah Silvers, what's going on? Happy Easter. Good Sunday morning. Hey, Nell Furman, how are you? Happy Easter to you as well. Hope all is well. This good Sunday morning. He did it, but he didn't have to. Thank God. Blessed and always. Hope everybody is doing good. I'm up this morning, y'all. Went out and walked Kobe, fed Kobe, and sitting up here looking at some videos. And yeah, just wanted to come by and say Happy Easter to you all. I know some of you got the morning getting the kids ready, getting yourself ready for church. You should have been to sunrise service already, right? Some of you already coming back from sunrise service. Um, Now, kids got their little Easter baskets. Ah man, it's been some yum years since I've done Easter baskets. I started. Who still makes their Easter basket? Anybody make their own Easter basket to still celebrate Easter baskets, or you go out and buy those big expensive baskets? I stopped doing that years ago. Let me tell you guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. I remember going to Walmart and spending 25, $30 on a basket and getting a few pieces of candy and a cardboard box. The basket was all cardboard with, a little cheap toy connected to it and a few pieces of candy. And here you are spending anywhere from 15 to a good $30 for an Easter basket. And so I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that no more. So I went out and bought the basket, bought the grass, and started doing it myself. Saved a whole lot more money and got a whole lot more stuff in the basket. You can go like to Dollar Tree or Dollar General and or Five Below and really get those kids baskets, chunked up for less money. Everything from Dollar Tree, a dollar some grass, dollar basket, and give your kids and grandkids a heck of an Easter basket. So I hope all is well. Um, yep. Oh my God, I love Easter eggs, and even I would just dye the Easter eggs. I don't know what makes it taste better when you dye it sometimes. But did anybody dye some Easter eggs? Anybody still dye eggs? I didn't even see the past. I didn't see the Easter stuff out like it used to be as well. They had just a little aisle, but I didn't even see the past. Do they still dye eggs like that using the past Easter egg dye? Because I didn't even see a big display of past Easter egg dye. I wonder if they're getting away from Easter egg dyeing as well because of the chemicals. I don't know. Or people can use natural food colorings, you know. I don't know. But I'm here just rambling on this morning, y'all. Yeah, I think I'm going to look in on church this morning. I've been getting into watching LinkedIn. I've shared the channel as well. Um, but how you doing it now? Deborah, y'all quiet. Y'all came in just to say good morning. You guys going to church this morning or celebrating Easter? Cooking a baked Easter dinner. I know the Easter ham. I'll probably go to my brother's house and see what they got going on later today. Um, yeah, I spent yesterday mopping and cleaning. Most of the day mopping out the house, uh, cleaning showers and stuff. So yeah, man, I'm up this morning. Stopped by a couple of channels yesterday and I saw Gamma. I think it was Gamma yesterday. Who was I? I think I was at Gamma's chat. I think Gamma was on yesterday for a little bit. Um, I think it was Gamma on yesterday. Watching Beautifully Heal do her birthday gifts. Fourth day. I think day number 4. I was watching day number 4, but the doing her yard with the ants and stuff like that. All her gifts to keep her yard ant free, bug free. So I watched some of that yesterday. Just yeah, yeah. I was looking at Kobe, and and y'all saw my last short on Kobe. Let me tell you, he looks like a little compact dog. And I was looking at it, I'm like, you can fool people because when they look at you, when he's sitting or just in that position, he looks so short and so like his appearance is unassuming, right? You can look at him, he looked like a little short little big head puppy. But when he stands up to his full height and length, it's like, oh snap! I took him out yesterday, and the neighbor happened to come out. No, it was the day before yesterday. The neighbor happened to come out the door. She's like, oh my god! She was like, oh my god! Then she's on the phone. Oh, he's gonna be bad. He's a big scary dog. I'm like, come on, not all that. And Elsa, she's going to her daughter's house for dinner. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Think I'm gonna go by my brother's house, see what they're doing for dinner today. Just maybe give them a call. I don't like to do pop-ups. What y'all got planned? Probably ain't doing nothing because they didn't call me. But yeah, pretty much just being a little busy around the house. Got some things going on. Got some things and working out some things and for the future and you know wanted to come out here and get out here and talk to you guys a little bit. I'm probably gonna come out later today. I posted some things on my wall that I know we hadn't been able to have a chit chat about anything going on around the world, around local and I guess national news or whatever. So yeah, so if you guys stand by, come back later today and chit chat. At the end of the day, probably. What else is going on? Yep. Erie season. My birthday's on the 7th. I decided I want to do a little birthday celebration. I'm not sure if I'm going to direct it to Zoom, possibly start on YouTube, and then take it to Zoom um, and send the link out because a lot of times YouTube, I want to play my music and stuff, and I can play it on Zoom. I can start it out here. Hey, Coffee No Cream, how you doing? Good morning and happy Easter to you as well. So yeah, so I can see people passing through. Y'all hit that like button if you're in, coming in. So a couple of topics I want to talk about today. If you guys, I see you, Aries, fire. Yep, stumping through the yard. Aries, thank God, stumping through the yard, Aries. I want to talk about. I know a few weeks ago somebody brought up about that general that went missing. That general, I think he was a general. Is he a general? I gotta go back. I don't know his rank, but he was the guy that went missing. He's the one that worked with you know, UFOs and shit like that, sightings and stuff. Thank you, Coffee No Cream. I appreciate that for the party hat. um, the the general, I believe he was a general. I gonna get it wrong. Thank you again. I appreciate that, Coffee No Cream. He went missing. Um, some people think that he may have been kidnapped. Um, maybe taken by aliens. Thank you again, Coffee No Cream. Um, or maybe he went somewhere because, dang, maybe he went somewhere. Hold for a minute, guys. Maybe he may have done something to himself because he was diagnosed, I guess, with short term memory. Maybe he's dealing with dementia. Maybe he's not dealing with the fact that he has some illnesses. I'm not sure if it's terminal. But his wife is saying that, he doesn't want to be a burden on anybody. He didn't want to, he couldn't deal with the things that he was going through as well, with dealing with certain illnesses, one of them being anxiety and then short term memory. So, because he left everything at the house, he knew what to take off. He took off anything that could track him, any tracking device, phones, anything that could help people find him. He turned off and left at the house. And his wife said he never leaves without his phone, and he took his watch off, I guess, and maybe his watch had a track on it. But definitely want to talk about him because understanding that he has a lot of secrets, because he could have been kidnapped by I don't know. He could be working somewhere. They could stage this where he could be a spy somewhere, or maybe uh, somebody from one of those foreign countries may have kidnapped him because he has a lot of secrets. My understanding, he worked on something called particle beams. I believe it was particle beams, and you can deal with it in the medical field, but also pretty much can be used to target satellites and uh, disrupt missiles and stuff like that. So he's a pretty knowledgeable man. He has a lot of top secrets. So he's a man that carries a lot of top secret information in his head. That's what his job was. So part of his stuff was highly toxic, top secret. So I want to talk more about him. Um, Also, the other stories on my page, if you guys get an opportunity, so we can talk about it. Um, One was the arrest of a family in Blythewood, South Carolina. Horrible arrest, horrible situation. They filed a lawsuit, a civil rights lawsuit here in South Carolina. If you guys want to talk about that, I just go check that story out. Also, another story, and this is something that if you own property, and check your state laws when it comes to adverse property um, seizure, I guess, adverse property rights. Man, y'all, if you own property, land, or even a house somewhere and you are not maintaining it in certain states and you have not been there and nobody is keeping it up, man, oh my God, South Carolina, Florida. I just read three of those laws myself. South Carolina have a 10-year adverse property. Uh, I think Georgia has a 10-year adverse property. And Florida has the shortest so far, 7 years. If you are a property owner, you or your family have property somewhere in these states, and say that you had grandma's house and her house is back in the woods somewhere and nobody goes to it, nobody is maintaining it for the past few years, but nobody cares, everybody lives out of state, and nobody has been to that property in 7 years or 10 years, you guys, somebody could own your property and they don't have to have no paperwork. They don't have to do anything. I want to talk more about that. Adverse property. It is a law. It is real. It could happen. So if you guys want an opportunity, check that out. Matter of fact, while I'm here, let's talk about it. Anybody ever heard of adverse property? Adverse property laws. Give me a one in the chat if you ever heard about it. You live in South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, probably other states. If you ever heard of adverse property law, I believe it's called adverse property law. I know adverse is one. Adverse rights. Adverse rights. Coffee no cream. This is a squatter's rights, y'all. Property rights. Squatter's property rights. Georgia has 10 years. South Carolina has 10. Florida has the shortest 7. I can talk about those 3 states because I think the video I posted is about Florida. I'm going to tell you about South Carolina and Georgia. Squatters move into a house. Nobody, they there. They can say that nobody's been taking care of the property. They're not living there secretly. Adverse possession. That's what it's called. Adverse possession. Thank you. Adverse possession. Squatters can move into your home, take care of your home, and as long as they're not being interrupted, you as the owner of the home, property owner of the home, don't interrupt them. They live there for 7 years, 10 years, taking care of that property without any interruption at all. They maintain it. You're not doing anything to it. Somebody probably tell you that they're there, but you don't say nothing. They lived there for 7 to 10 years. They may pay the taxes on it. They may keep the property up. You know that becomes their property? Do you know that becomes their property? After 7 years, uninterrupted, consistent maintaining of the property without interruption, without the landlord coming to say anything, without you, the property owner, saying anything. You know they're there. They know the law. They understand the law. They can tell you it's adverse property. Uh, and they live there consistently without interruption, without you maintaining the property at all. You're not doing anything. 7 and 10 years, that's the property. It exists. It exists. But if say for instance, the landlord or the owner does come and interrupts that at any given time during that period, you got to go. Now, Florida has made it very easy. Just recently passed a law that makes it easy for landlords to get tenants out of their property, right? Definitely adverse possession. Police officers don't have to wait. It don't have to be a civil thing. Once they can prove that you are there illegally, there is no waiting to go to 2 to 3 months to go to court, civil court. In Florida, passed a law to make it very easy for landowners and landlords to kick people off their property if they don't have a legal right to be there. All right. Once they can prove that they're not supposed to be there, the police officers can come and drag their asses. This is what they did to that lady. If y'all want to see an interesting case, go look at my wall. Follow, share. I shared it. Ladies in this house in Florida. She's in this house in Florida. She done take the lock off the door. She done moved the dog in. I don't see how she was living there. I didn't see no bed and no furniture. She went down to the courts and did some type of attempt of adverse possession paperwork, right? An attempt for adverse possession. But she didn't understand the law. She figured, well, I'm going to take the lock off the door. This property looks abandoned. Don't look like they've been doing this for a minute. This is something I think her and her husband, she says she had a husband, but she has done this before. Based on what she had said. So in Florida, 7 years without interruption, consistent living, without any interruption from anybody else. You're living there. You know the property's abandoned. You know nobody's there. You're taking care of it. You know the law about that, right? She didn't understand the law. She went and did some paperwork, but she really didn't have to. She thought that because she had that paperwork that she could go there and take it immediately without being challenged. The thing about it, once you are challenged by the property owner, you have to go. You can't claim adverse possession if it's not been 7 years without any interaction or confrontation, anything from the owner. Once that has been broken, once the owner or somebody has made contact to let you know that they are in charge of this property, get off, they're maintaining it, this is my property, that adverse possession is out the window. You got to go. In Florida, immediately. Immediately in Florida. I don't know. I think you might have to do 30 days here in South Carolina. But in Florida, once it's been proven that you do not have adverse possession of the property, you're there. You are now being charged with burglary, trespassing, and property damage and everything else. That's in Florida. Once they have established that you have not did the full term, the police could immediately drag you out of that house. And that's what they did to her. They drug her ass out the house. She put up a fight. She even became a demon. Y'all listen to this woman. This woman became so demonic. When you listen to her, you can just you can just hear the demonic voice coming up out of her when they were dragging her. I mean, she sounded like a straight demon. And she became one too. The way she did. And Florida got this new thing, y'all, I haven't seen before. Florida got this thing. You know how they used to hog tie people in law enforcement? We used to hog tie their feet in the back and put you on your belly and then put your handcuffs and feet to your back and put you in the back seat. Oh no. Good morning, Just Me Douglas. How you doing? They don't hold. Florida got a new thing. Man, they wrap you up almost like a burrito. Florida wrap you up like a burrito and put a helmet on your head. JMD. What's up? That's me, Douglas says, hey, hot coffee and cream says, hey, just me, Douglas. Yeah, Florida wrap you up on like a burrito. They got this bag or something. They wrap you up, tie you up on your back, put a helmet on your head, and lay you across the seat like a damn burrito. You look like a. I'm like, I guess, and I don't know if somebody has constriction problems where they can't be constricted, or you better act right because they're gonna put you in that little bag and wrap your ass up like. They put her in this little thing. They laid her down in this little thing, and they started wrapping her up, wrap her arms together, wrapped her leg. I mean, she was airtight. I mean, and then they put a helmet on her head. I guess a spit guard. But it looked like something that she couldn't bump her head, and also a spit guard as well. But because she became so demonic, y'all. They drug her out the house. They took her two dogs. Animal control came and grabbed her dogs, puppies. She was like, I mean, for me personally, I understand there's a law called adverse possession. But my God, when you are confronted, and if you know you get out them people's house, why the hell are you going to try to take somebody? Laying here in bed before I get my cooking started. The morning came too quick. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, when they kick and spit, they get that says coffee no cream. Yeah, they get the spit guard. Boy, they wrapped her up. I haven't seen that used. That's the first time I've ever seen that equipment used to wrap somebody up that's kicking and spitting and fighting, y'all. It's a good thing because they constrict their whole body. Everything is wrapped up like a nice package, and you know. They had to drag her out the car, man. She actually bucked up, put her arms up like I'm gonna fight y'all, and they drug her out that police car, and wrapped her up like a little package. Like I just say the best thing next is to put a little bow on it. I only seen it on TV as well. Never used it. It says coffee no cream. Never wasn't around when we were there. When I was out there, we just used leg chains, two handcuffs, leg chains, handcuffs, and then the handcuffs, that your second handcuff to bring the leg and the chain and the handcuffs behind you together. Now, if you were like a big person with a broad shoulder, that shit wasn't happening. It was hard to, yeah, sometimes I've had to use like 2 to 3 handcuffs to handcuff a big person, and also try to use ankle chains as well. But, yeah, yeah, man, it was crazy. And she carried on. She became a different person. She became a totally different person. She was in the house like, get away from my door. Adverse possession. Adverse possession. I have paperwork. Get away from my door. This is my house. Get out of my house. Now you got the man that works for the company, the buyer. They own the property. The bank owns the property, and they had their agent out there. And he says, look, I got proof to show you. Because, see, people got smart. They got smart. So what these bankers and landowners are doing now, they're having people come out and timestamp that they're maintaining the property. See, I guess they had so many issues with squatters that they had to go out and show that they're at the property. They're doing things. Rather than run a lawnmower through it, wipe a window, they're showing interaction with the property, right? Because you got to show as the owner that you are maintaining the property, right? That you're doing something. Whether you come there and open the door, time stamp it that you were there, that you, even if you ran a lawnmower across one strip, you're doing something to the property, right? You're maintaining it. And having somebody go out to the house and just do something to the house, I would, if you got property like that, worked in the state prison and had a dude so big it took 2 sets of ankle chains. Wow. Now that, yeah, Alan Dukes, that's, yeah, ankle chains sometimes have to be used for these guys with the broad shoulders, wide back. Man, even trying to handcuff them in the front was hard because they couldn't bring their arms in as well. So, yeah, handcuffing. You have to become very creative with those things at times. But that new burrito bag, I'm gonna call it a burrito bag, cause damn it, that's what you look like up in there. You look like a stuffed burrito that Florida's using. I think it's easy to transport people like that, especially if somebody is extremely fighting a lot, or even I don't know how. I guess it has to be used for anybody. Damn, Alice says, hey, charge it to the game. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning, Alan Dukes. They call the burrito bag the wrap. Yeah, it's called the wrap. Yeah, that thing is, man, y'all. To see it, you being used and how tight she was wrapped up, she wasn't going nowhere. She looked just like a burrito. You ain't moving. Your head is covered. Your body is controlled, completely under control. You are wrapped tight. You are sad. You are, hey, Willette Lee, how are you doing? So y'all go look at that video. The nerve of her. I asked, do you think she got what she deserved? I think she got what she deserved and she needed more. She got charged with several felony charges, felony resisting, she got charged with burglary, felony resisting, all kind of stuff. She got hit with at least 5 to 6 felonies. And guess what, guys? She didn't show up to court. So she got a warrant behind her. But trust me, somebody like her probably gonna move to a different state and keep doing that shit. So if you got family with property, you got some property out there that you have not attended to in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina for the past 2 years, some of our parents got property back in the God, I wish I'd known that. Some of our family got property back in the woodline, y'all, that, grandma, granddaddy got some property. If somebody is taking care of that property or they're growing vegetables, this is another thing I did not know. You have a neighbor. Y'all, your neighbor can steal your property. This easy. Lead attorney explain how your neighbor can steal your property. Your neighbor, you know you share a property with your neighbor. Know how many people go down to the zoning board and find out exactly where their property line ends, right? Sometimes you have a little flag that marks your property, right? Property line, right? You haven't done it in years. You don't have the correct measurements. Your neighbor has now eased on. You ain't paying attention. You live in Florida. You live in South Carolina. You live in Georgia. You think it's cute. Your neighbor has now encroached over. You let them grow their little garden. You ain't saying shit. They got about 2 feet, right? And they growing their little vegetables, their little garden. You ain't saying nothing. You ain't paid attention to the property line. You just know your neighbor got a nice garden. They don't grow over onto your side. Your neighbor's been there for 7 years, 10 years with their little garden, y'all. They gardening. You saying hi to them every day. You don't say nothing. You don't maintain it. They're going over there watering the plants and eating the fruits from the garden or the vegetables. You just watching them, not knowing that they're on your property. Not knowing that they got 2 feet of your property for the past 10 years. And they got smart, y'all. They CNC, it was a whole class. I'm sure JMD. Hey, coffee, no cream. Probably has a warrant in 3 or 4 states already. Probably so, Alan Dukes. Because she looked like she's doing all that. Glad you prevailed, JMD. Just me, Douglas. Let me see. I went through that a few years ago. A raggedy heifer tried to take part of my mother's land. The land was never abandoned. That's an archaic law. Okay, but it still applies. I don't know how it works. I'm glad it worked out for you. But it's explained. If it hadn't been 10 years, it hadn't been 7 years. Um, maybe some states like fuck it, we ain't letting you keep it anyway. Nope, we ain't going through it. But in this particular case, it's law. I looked it up for South Carolina. 10 years with uninterrupted, consistent maintaining the property. Nobody interrupting you, no landlord, no owners coming to say anything to you. You there, you're maintaining it. It appeared to be abandoned. Nobody's caring for it for 10 years but you. That's yours. CNC was just a whole mess. Wow. Oh, that's Charlotte, North Carolina. Wow. But looking up Florida only got 7 years to maintain, and she thought she only had the paperwork. She wasn't even there a couple of months, probably, but she's done it before. We know that. We know she says I got several property like that. So people are going to probably go check and make sure that their property is not being lived in because like I said, thinking about property that back in the wood area and nobody's checked it. It don't even have to be a house on it. It could be just land. Imagine somebody taking care of your land, going out there and mowing the lawn and watering the trees and shit and maintaining the land, and you thinking, hell, it's just land. They don't take ownership of your property because you don't know. You probably live in a different state and it's overgrown. Nobody is keeping care of it. And you got this little bit of land, and here's somebody already watching it for 7 to 10 years in different states. Now they got your shit. But I'm going to go back to the one with the house, how lead attorney was explaining it. So they took 2 feet of your property. You haven't did your zoning or property zoning in a long time, so you think it's cool. Do you know he said that they can keep that property? If you sit there and watch your neighbor garden that 2 feet for 10 years straight or 7 years in Florida, and you did nothing to show any interaction with that property at all that they're using, you just watch. Do you know they can keep that 2 feet? Now he did say this: if you go out there and you start monitoring, and you can't now, if you go out there as the landlord, as the owner of the property, and you start watering the flowers, any type of interaction you have with that garden and maintaining it is still yours. You interrupted that person. You interrupted that person. So if you interrupt them within that 7 year period, if you have any issue, any maintenance of that property, um, if you have any maintenance of that property during that 7 year period or 10 year period as the owner, that interrupts that 7 year. That interrupts it. And they can't do anything because you now have come as the owner of the property or interest of the property, and you interrupt them, letting them know, you know, hey, this is mine. What are you doing here? Get off my property. You don't have no ownership here. You trespassing. Now South Carolina might make you do the 30 days. And like the guy said, he said I could do 30 days and give them 30-day notice, but what they gonna do to my property while I wait them 30 days? Now that they know they about to get evicted, for 30 days, they can destroy your property, So now Florida made it easy for them to get them out immediately. Once they have established that they do not have adverse possession, Florida police officers have a right to go in there with the owner and drag your ass out that property. Excuse my language. And hey, Sherry Lewis, they have a right to go in there and drag you out in Florida. I like that. I like it because they drug her out that house in Florida. Dragged her out. Literally, just she opened the door, talking smack. My paper, my adverse possession. I have adverse possession. Get away from my door. They got her. Let me see that paperwork one more time. Let me see it. This is the police at the door. Let me see that paperwork. Step away then. Step away from the door and I'll show it to you. She opened the door. He tried to grab the paper. He tried to hold on to the paper. She said, nope. This is a copy of the original. This is the original copy. Nope, it cannot be original copy. Is the original copy? That's what lead attorney said. So when she opened the door and tried to talk with them about it, when they got an opportunity to snatch her ass, they snatched her in that house and drugged her. Dragged her. Just I know that you at the covered news for Chicago. Please do a segment about Kendrick mom, Teresa. She's not well. Stayed up all night watching on Facebook. I don't know why the family don't stop. Wow. Okay, charge it to the game. That's Kenneka Jenkins' mom. Okay, that's the young lady that died in the freezer, right? Man, she probably not doing well because if she did what people thought she did, she probably kind of wrestling with that situation. When I lived in Florida and I was in Chicago during that time, I was living in the suburbs at the time when that happened. And y'all, Kenneka Jenkins' story, if that's what I'm thinking about, that thing haunted me. That story haunted me for a year or so. I was almost like most of everybody in the country, finding everywhere. Y'all, me and my ex would sit there for hours just going over the videos, listening to the stories, trying to figure out. We watched video after video after video, watching her move, listening to her friends, whatever they were saying. Everybody at that time was trying to be a detective, right? And trying to find out how this girl ended up in the freezer. Did her friends do it? And this happened and that happened. We watched videos in the kitchen, her movement through the back. That I think a lot of people probably did, not only myself, became obsessed with that video of her trying to watch her movement through the hotel at night. I would never stay in that hotel. I passed by that place, and it just makes my skin crawl. It's right near the airport, right? Not too far from the airport. Um, I don't think it's that far from the airport. Um, and it's just, um, you know, it's so many things um, that may have happened, and in the end, so many stories came out that her mom may have sold out and took the money and not, in the NDA non-disclosure. Um, some people think that she took the money and was told to be quiet. Yeah, she wasn't allowed to speak on it. She had the NDA non-disclosure, and so many stories came out that she sold out her daughter. She took the money. Um, it was so many different things that came out during that time. And a lot of people blamed her in the end. Um, she got a lot of blame for a lot of things in the end. Not looking for her daughter, the time that went by. It's so many things that she had to wear as a mother. People were blaming her, for a lot of things. I can't remember a lot of things, but I know back then the mother took the rap for a lot. She sold out. She sacrificed her daughter. She did this to her daughter. She knew what was happening. She was work. It's so many things. But like I said, I got it. I can't remember a lot, but she's going through a lot. I know we talked about Kenneka Jenkins a while back about her mom being able to talk about it. I think how many years had to go by before she was allowed to talk about it. But yeah, oh my God, I had nightmares about that story. I had to stop watching. Yeah, it became kind of scary after that because um, you know, and then it reached into the point of organ snatchers, right? Organ snatchers, and because now here is something crazy, y'all. Um, they wanted to say that a doctor came there and took her organs. Now, I'm pretty sure they did an autopsy and all her organs were probably there because there's so many people that had to be involved for that to happen, right? It was too many for that to actually be true. I think that somebody would have said if her organs were missing, right? Because too many people came in contact with that case. But they want to say that the doctor was there, a man left with a blue cooler. Yeah, it was so crazy because you had the white male with a blue cooler. He probably was just having, a worker that was traveling, had his cooler in the hotel, but then he was being called a doctor that left with the organ in the blue cooler, and her organ was given to this girl from Disney, y'all. All the stories that came out, and her organ was not donated, taken and given to that girl from on Disney, the one that played the witches family. The family of witches. I forgot her, not Sabrina, but it was all the wizards. Wizard of Waverly Place. The actress from Wizard of Waverly Place, Selena, so probably got her organs. So that her kidney or her, I don't know which one, but supposedly Selena was her name, I think, from the Wizard of Waverly Place. Got her organs, y'all. So many stories came out, um, and then it was connected to Ohio. Was it connected to Ohio? An organ farming situation out of Ohio warehouse. The people warehouse organs and shit. Y'all, it was so many stories, y'all. Y'all waking up these stories in my head that that I forgot so many years ago that I used to. Oh, I'm obsessed over this thing. Not only that, people were dying just covering the story. Zach TV, the uncle, etc. What? I've never heard of that. Now that's charges again. I never heard of that. People covering the story were dying. I didn't know that as well. Wow. Well, at me too. I was too invested. You would have thought I was. Yeah, guys, we would sit there, y'all, and just go through video after. I mean, timestamp, slow down the video, look at the cup on the table, on the counter, look at the shadows on the wall, look at the person behind her. I. I believe if AI was invented back then, we would have had we would have had a mess because you just watched her move from the through the building. Oh, look at this shot! Look at the cup on the counter. There's two cups. Look at that man. There's a man right there. Look at that guy behind her. Look at that man in the kitchen. Look at that video. The guy just went past. Somebody just walked past her. Look, look. How did she get in the freezer? Wait a minute. The freezer locked from the outside, inside. How did she get locked in when you can't lock your freezer? The freezer has an emergency situation where a person cannot be locked in. They have the ability to get out. So it was so many theories. Like, didn't they say that she was half naked in the freezer? Somebody said, okay, then somebody said SA her in the freezer. But no, the autopsy or the uh, medical examiner said no. What happens when a person is intoxicated and they're in cold environment, they actually believe that they're hot and they start taking off their clothes. Huh? Well, we do know that alcohol can give a false sense of being warm, right? That's why they tell you, do not, if you got people or family members that are drinking, do not let them go out there in the cold. Because if they're drinking and they're true alcoholics or they've been drinking, or not even true alcoholics, but they might be, or there people been drinking and they're going to catch the bus and they've been drinking and they drank a lot, they actually think that they might be warm. Yes, it was Selena Gomez kidney justice. Yeah, they said they gave the kidney to Selena Gomez. Uh, so that came out of it. But alcohol does give a sense of being warm. That's why you have found so many people that have been drinking or maybe alcoholics frozen like icicles in these states that are cold and icy during the winter because they actually have a false sense of being warm. And so they sit on the benches or they sit outside thinking that they're warm, but actually they're freezing to death. And before it's too late, they drift off to sleep from the alcohol and they're found frozen. So this is what they're thinking happened to Shanika. She got into the freezer. She's drunk. You can tell that she's, as they explained to us, that she is, you know, walking through the halls, not in a straight line. She appears to be intoxicated. We don't know from alcohol or drugs or all of the above. But she ends up in this freezer. And the freezer, she can't. They said, well, she wouldn't have been able to freeze because she can get out of the freezer. The freezer locks from the inside. That's the safety measures they put on the freezer. Um, so if she wasn't intoxicated, then why couldn't she come out the freezer? Because it's locked from the inside. Somebody gets stuck inside, they'll be able to get out. So I don't know. Did she just walk down there and fell asleep in the freezer? I don't know. Yeah. So it's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. But Shanika Jenkins, I'll look in to see what's going on with Teresa. But mom has, I don't know, mom maybe, I don't know, mom just, like you said, is just not able to talk about it Did she do anything? Did she feel she did enough? Did she have anything to do with it? Her friends? Because how old was she? She was like maybe what, 14 or 15? How old was Shanika? She wasn't a teen. She wasn't 18 yet. How old was Shanika? Was she like 15, maybe 16? Or was she in her 20s? Because wait a minute, she might have been in her 20s. I don't think that she was a teen. How old was she? She was 19. 19, so she was a teen. I'm thinking that she was younger. She's 19. She went out with some friends and she went to the hotel party. We know she went to a party. We know there were gang members at the party. We know that there were friends and foes at the party. We know there was alcohol. We know there was weapons. We know that there was probably a possible SA at some point at this party. This is some of the things that came out. That she was probably SA'd at this party, trying to get away. Her friends abandoned her, got mad at her. They left her. This thing went on for hours, y'all, before anybody did anything. This thing went on for how many hours, if I'm correct, from 12, maybe a day? How many hours passed, y'all? Was it 12 hours or maybe 24 hours? How much time passed before they found her? The hotel security supposed to be doing security walks. Nobody. They got security cameras. Nobody did anything. She passed at 19. Thank you, Coffee No Cream, and charge it to the game. You know, security's supposed to be walking around. They were monitoring the cameras. It's so many things happened from security, you know, watching her walk past and watching her stumble. Nope, that didn't catch anybody attention, you know, because we see her stumbling through the halls. We know that she's down in the basement area. Was she following somebody? Because in the video in the kitchen, you can swear you saw somebody, a male in the kitchen as well with her at some point. I don't know. So it was so intriguing, guys, but like I said, I was so obsessed with this thing here. I think this thing took me almost 6 months to a year before I was able to just let it completely go, because between me and my ex, we would sit there for hours listening and watching videos and trying to get clues like we were going to solve this shit. I still think I cannot stand Andrew from, I don't know if this is anybody's family, but I know he got caught up in a whole bunch of stuff. And I don't know, oh, y'all went to Rosemont to charge. Yeah, it's in Rosemont. It's definitely that hotel. You can see it as you come across. Um, um, I forgot the highway name. Every time I passed that damn thing, I would just, in the beginning, I would just like, it made my skin crawl just to go past it. I would never stay there. I would never stay in that hotel. Just because of that, I would never stay in it. I know they had parties there and stuff, their New Year parties and stuff there, y'all, but I would never go. I was never ever go there. I'm like, nah, I don't want nothing to do with that place. But yeah, it's crazy, y'all. It was crazy. Yes, we did right on the side of Lamont and Jedediah. Okay, right on the side of Lamont and Lamont. That hospital's on Lamont too. I think I went to Lamont. What hospital is over there in that area? There is a hospital. Is that start with the L? What hospital is off near Lamont? I'm trying to think. Was I in that area for a hospital visit one time? Why is Lamont coming to me? Oh God. I'm not sure if that hospital that start with an L is over there. off of Lamont. I don't know why Lamont is coming to my name right now, head right now. I think I've been on that area for a minute, and on Lamont for a minute. Um, what hospitals in that area in Rosemont? 21 to 24 hours. I took to find her justice. It took to find, yeah, 21 to 24 hours. She was missing, right? This is why people had an issue with mom as well. Your child left your home. You people called and asked you, or you called and asked. It's just too many hours went by for everybody to find her, and a lot of questions came into play. So many questions, y'all. That's why mom got a big rap. That's why mom was looked side eye. What's Andrew's last? The guy was named Lamont Record activist. Lamont Record activist. Okay, charged it to the game. Um, is there a hospital in that area charged to the game? I can't remember the name of the hospital, but is there a hospital in that area in Rosemont? Because I'm thinking I was on Lamont. I don't know sure why the name for Lamont Record, but I'm thinking I don't think so. I may have the wrong area, but I'm thinking why is there a hospital that I'm thinking it's called for L? Um, yeah, I went to Rosemont because you know what I went to Rosemont for? I believe that Candy isn't that Candy place there too? I took my daughter to what's that place called? She wanted that damn drink. Everybody was talking about that drink. All the kids went. What's the name of that damn expensive ass, nasty ass? Not Candy Factory. The Candy Factory, I believe, is in Rosemont. I think I took my daughter to Rosemont for the Candy Factory for a damn $20 drink of a $20 ice drink that you could make at home. And don't lie, I think I paid 30 for mine and 25 for hers because mine had alcohol in it, and hers was a kiddie drink because she wasn't even in high school yet. I don't believe she was in high school yet when I took her to the Candy Factory. I believe that was in Rosemont. Rosemont had the skating rink and the mall in that area. Um, but I believe the Candy Factory is in Rosemont, somewhere in that area. I used to go to someplace else. Okay, that was a different area. Um, yeah, so Kenneka Jenkins, definitely will see what's going on with mom on Facebook. Um, so yeah, so we talked about Kenneka Jenkins. Um, and I'm gonna look her up again and see what's going on with mom. I think mom is just she took the money, and I think she want Rosemont. I just there's a hospital called Roseland. Okay, I'm thinking I must have been somewhere else then. There's a hospital start with an L, and that's where and I can't think of the name right now. I had to go there one time, but I don't know why. Maybe it's the name. The hospital start with an L and not Lamont. Lamont don't have nothing to do with it. Um, yeah, mom settled the case. I think she got how many millions of dollars without getting all the answers. And I think that may have bothered her. There are things in the case that she still had a lot of questions. And instead of just demanding the questions and answers, she took the money. Loyola. Where is Loyola? That's what I'm thinking about. Charger game. It's called Loyola. I don't even know I can't even remember because I know I had to go to Loyola once, but I can't remember where it was. Um, but you're right, Loyola. Um, Mom probably should have asked more questions, and it bothers her. You know, is it if I had not taken this money? Um, could have found out what happened, not knowing, and probably letting them close the case too quick. And she always had asked questions, but now, and then the money didn't last, right? I think so many people got money. I forgot how many millions she got, but that money didn't. The lawyers off the bat got the probably the biggest percentage of the money, and I believe the money was shared with her, the mother, and some other relatives probably. Maybe some other people as well. She didn't get all. I don't think she got the bulk of money by herself, as I can recall reading. But maybe she feels some kind of way. Maybe unresolved. Maybe guilt. I don't know. Maybe something that's not letting her sleep, um, and not letting her be at peace. And sometimes that money could be the source of everything that she's feeling. I took this money, but look what happened to my child, right? You know. But the city of Chicago is quick to settle. That's the one thing. Let me tell you, city of Chicago, when I was living there, they paid out so much money. I know why they're on the back of this. I know why. Now, why they tax the hell out of Chicagoans. You hear me? They taxed the hell of everything was taxed, and them god dang on money they get from parking and from speeding tickets and from red lights. And I mean, I've never felt so taxed in a damn place. A penny tax on water, tax on a bag, tax on this, tax on that. I mean, they tax the hell out of you in Chicago. Parking fees, 30-minute parking, $45. Hour parking, $50, $60. To live in Chicago is expensive, y'all. Parking is expensive. Eating is expensive. Shopping is now most people go over into Indiana to shop. Y'all know if you go to Indiana, you don't pay taxes. I don't think I forgot either you don't pay any taxes on food and stuff in Indiana. So I used to go over to Indiana and go. I would drive to Indiana to go shopping at Walmart, y'all, for groceries. That's what I would do. I would cross over to Indiana to go shopping. Indiana taxes were lower, if not 0% on groceries. So I would go to Indiana and actually go shopping in Indiana. But Chicago get taxed the hell up out of everything, and so not and but they pay out the most money for wrongdoings. Do you know how much money police officers have cost Chicago? Do y'all know how much money police officers have cost Chicago in civil lawsuits and wrongful death lawsuits? Oh my God. And they're quick to throw out $5 million to families that lose loved ones. The first thing, oh, we ain't going to court. You want to take this $5 million? You want to take this $2 million? You walk away, go away. We'll give you $5 million. Just go away. She had lost her mind yesterday. It's so hard to watch. It looks so demonic. I'm sorry, it does. I'm gonna go take a look at it. Charge it to the game. You say she on Facebook? How do I find her on Facebook? What do I look up? Teresa Jenkins? How do I find her? She's dealing with a lot of demons, probably. What decisions did she make during that time? I don't want to be judgmental. Of course, we are, but don't want to be, because not everybody's perfect. Not everybody have made the right decisions, but you lived in the public eye. Teresa Martin, okay, Teresa Martin. I'll look her up. Yeah, but you live in the public eye, man. Once something like this happened, then you should fall back and stay fall back. Don't even cut off all social media and just go live your life, man. Just go live your best life. That's what but she got to get something out. She got to let something out. Something she wants to say, something she has to let go in order to find her peace. You know what I'm saying? In order to find her peace, she has to let some things go. Forgive herself, even if me forgiving everybody and forgiving herself. That's the one thing. It's done. So finding a place, maybe even getting the hell up out of Chicago may help. I don't know. But first of all, practice forgiving, um, and just accept the fact. Happy Easter, Granny K, party favor. How are you? Do good morning. Um, Letting go with forgiveness with all parties involved. I think that will help her. Getting to a place, and plus, first of all, forgiving herself, because she beats her. If she's beating herself up for whatever reason, whatever's been said, sometimes you can't control what people did out here. A lot of times, we all came up with our perception, our conclusion, who she was. Um, you know, but how can you? I don't know. I'm gonna go check it out. So you guys check out the rest of the wall. I'll come back. We talked about Kenneka Jenkins. We talked about the Swatters' rights. If you got property out there, go take care of your property. If you hadn't seen your deeded property that your grandma or your granddaddy left to you 10 years, a few years ago, you hadn't been there, you better go mow that damn lawn before somebody else start cutting that shit. Have your grandkids or somebody go weed that shit real quick. Interact with that property some kind of way. Don't leave that property because somebody could be maintaining it. So if you got some property somewhere in a different state that was left to you, and you don't know what's going on with it, you better go out there before them 10 years up, 7 years up, and go mow that damn lawn. Go cut that grass and weed eat that shit for a minute. Go wash the windows or sweep. If it's a house or something, go maintain it. Kenneka Jenkins, Justice, not Shanika. Okay, Kenneka. Y'all know my names. So sorry about that. Charged to the game. Shanika. Why did I say Kenneka? It's Shanika. So maybe somebody wrote Kenneka, but it's Shanika. And if I'm not saying it right, forgive me, Shanika. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. Go maintain that property that was left to you and you hadn't watched it. If you live, especially, I can tell you about South Carolina, Florida, and Georgia. If you hadn't had any interaction with your property in about 3 or 4 years and somebody be on that property, you better go get them dusty ass people off that property. Better go cut that grass or do something. Cause I'm gonna go find me some property. Let me go see something. Where you? Let me go. Nah, man, I can't do that. That shit is trifling. How you gonna take somebody's shit? Man, that y'all go check that video out, y'all. That shit is funny, yet stupid. Yet she got what y'all want to see somebody get what they deserve for being ornery, for being a thief, because that's all it was. She was stealing. She was committed burglary. She didn't understand the law. Um, Most definitely go check it out. Um, and go get your family property. You got some air property somewhere that you ain't maintaining, but your cousin watching that property. See, remember, you got a cousin talking about, I watched that property, and you letting your cousin, and you ain't talked to your cousin in 7 years yet, and your cousin maintaining that property, and ain't saying shit to you. You got a nephew or a niece watching the property, and they ain't saying nothing to you, and you ain't made no contact about the property. You ain't went down there and interact with them with that property. They about to take your damn property. I'm just telling you. You got a friend watching your property, and you ain't said nothing. You ain't interact with them in the last 4 years or 5 years, and you live in Florida, and you got some property down in Florida, and you got somebody, and you ain't got no interaction. But you think my cousin watching that property? Your cousin about to take your shit. You ain't say, hey. You ain't send him a letter. Hey. You taking care of my property? You what? You better send your cousin a letter. Let him know, hey, I still got interest in this property, right? Don't think you gonna start. It's time to start writing some letters to some family members. Hey, that's still my property. You gotta be bold with that shit. Don't think you gonna take my property. I'm gonna be down there to cut the grass. I'm gonna send Uncle over there to cut that grass. Y'all better send somebody over there to cut that grass. I'm sending Uncle Nate to come cut the grass on my property. That's how you kill that real quick. Send him a letter. I'm sending Uncle Nate to cut the grass on my property. He is maintaining my property. Does that mean you ain't even got to leave? Put that shit in the newspaper too. Uncle Nate is taking care of my property at so and so so. Okay, make it public known that you maintaining your property, even though you in New York and your property in Florida and South Carolina. Let it be known that you still have an interest in that property and you're maintaining it, and you have a maintained interest. See, I'm enlightening some of y'all because somebody's sitting on y'all shit right now, and y'all ain't been home in 6, 7 years in Florida or 10 years in South Carolina, but somebody's sitting there happily on your property about to take it through adverse possession, and it does exist. Who said it? I think it was it Charge It to the Game or Don't Do Me that went through that, and it was a mess. Somebody tried to take her family property, and it was a mess. Okay? Don't let your neighbor steal your property. If your neighbor got a tree, go ahead and rip your neighbor shit up right now. If your neighbor got gardens growing over on your shit, go tear that shit up now. Matter of fact, hey, I'm watering my property. It ain't 10 years yet. It ain't 7. Don't think I'm going to break up some damn fat from neighbors today. Go look at your neighbor and go get your property zone right quick. Make sure you know your property line and put your flags up today. So you know that they're growing gardens on your shit right now. Go rip that shit up. Get your shit off my property. Whoa, buddy, y'all ain't gonna be neighbors for long. Why are you taking my garden out? Your garden on my property line. I just got my shit redone. So this is my property line right here. I'm stake it. Bam. Now you can move your garden 2 feet back over. Make some enemies. Oh, this Easter morning. Just to stop. We about to make people go out there and not be peaceful this Easter. Well, hell. Why you gotta wait to let me go out here and make sure my property right. How many people out here right now listening to me gonna go out right now and check their property line and go get their flag to make sure? Let me go check my name. And if they build a fence on your property 2 feet over, and when you go to sell your house and you say your property is this size and your neighbor done been over there for 10 years with their garden, you don't own that property no more. Your shit is short. And now you got to go to court to undo that shit. And now how much money? Y'all go check y'all property lines. I'm gonna give y'all a bit of advice. I know. Look, Willette Lee, Coffee No Cream, Charge It to the Game. How many of y'all going outside right now to go check your neighbor? Get your shit off my property. If they got a car parked on your stuff, they mark it in move that car. Get your car off my property. Get your car tire off my shit. I don't care how long you've been parked here. You're not parking on my property line no more. That's why I didn't know people were like that. Maybe that's why I didn't know why people were so doggone. Get off my property line. Get your car tires off. So somebody parking their car and resides on it. My family, we maintain and land and resides on it. Good job. Hey, move your tire. I don't care how many years you've been parking here. Park your shit on your side. I'm flagging everything now. Man, I'd have flags all over my yard. Flag, 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 flag. Like, why this crazy witch got all these flags all through her yard? Flag it all the way down. But a big red stripe. Do not park on this side of the red line. I'm a red. I would start. Hey, I would start flagging all the property lines all the way down. Get over on your side. Park your tire on your side. I done learned some shit today. You trying to take my property with your car tire? Get over back on your side. I've been parking here for years. This ain't your property. I don't care if you don't got enough yard. Park on the road. You can't take my property. Y'all better, hey, I gave y'all a bit of information this morning. Y'all better heed to it. South Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. Y'all better listen up. Go check your property. Make sure ain't nobody on it. They got 7 years. They got to be there. If you go interrupt them right now, they can't stay there. You got to give them 30 days. But if they've been there 10 years and you ain't said shit and they smart, they going to tell you, I own this stuff. Virginia is 15 years since coffee. She's go check everything. Let me go see. Yep, y'all better go check. Especially the land, because it's not only houses, it's land as well. You may have a little bit of acreage somewhere that you hadn't checked on. Somebody done build on it. They mowing the land. They keeping the land up. They keeping it watered. You ain't even got to have a house on it. It may just be some backland somewhere where you forgot about. Your granddaddy may have left you some land somewhere, wooded area that you just say, you know what? I'm not using that land. And somebody went on that land and started watering the grass and mowing the grass and cutting the trees and keeping it down. They gonna take that land from you come 7 to 10 years, and 15 years. You can't say shit because you ain't been on that land in 10 years. You ain't had nobody check on that land in the past 7 years in Florida and 10 years in South Carolina. Somebody may have already been on it, living on it, owning it, paying taxes on the shit. You ain't checked to see. I mean, I know somebody has to be paying taxes on it. Um, but if you ain't paying taxes on it, if you got a family member paying tax on it, um, but you're not interacting, but you know they're paying the taxes on it, but you have shown no interest in it, and they just like paying taxes on it and you don't have a clear understanding, like, hey, you know, they can claim that property after 10 or 15 years if you show no interest in it. You ain't sending them no money toward the taxes. I'd send them some shit like, hey, I understand you've been paying the taxes for the past 3 years. Hell no. Here, send them a letter. Here my $100. Here my $20 toward the property. Stole my land. Send them people something. Let them know you still have an interest in the land. Because if they sit there for 10 years and pay taxes and you have shown no interaction or any maintenance of that property, you better send something toward them people and let them know you have an interest. That's just my belief. I could be wrong. Find out the law in your state. Okay? Fine tune it. Know what it is. I'm just giving you what I thought I heard. But for me personally, if you got property and family got property, this would be the time you go check and make sure you still have an interest in it and nobody is squatting. Because this squatter's rights. It's called adverse possession. And some of these people know about it, and some, like that lady, didn't know and got her ass drugged out the house. Go watch the video. Second video I want to talk about later today. I'll come back. Blythewood, South Carolina. What you guys saw was a felony stop. A felony stop. That is when they bring you out the vehicle backwards and on the ground on your knees, and you move to the sound of their voice. What they did to that family with those 3 kids watching, I hope Blythewood, I hope they sue the hell out of state of South Carolina, state trooper. I hope they get paid. I hope the kids get paid, because what happened was a tragedy. It should have never happened. It all based on lies and just being mean and rude. There was no reason. You got a bolo. You should have paid attention to your bolo. Y'all go look at that story. Blythewood family. This happened in 2025. One of the things Beautifully Healed did a video short being stopped by a state police or somebody in Georgia. Handled it beautifully. I'll talk more about how she handled that. Handled it well, because the tent law we have here, I remember when the tent law passed when I was in law enforcement, And I've written ticket for tent law, but you know what the judge does? When if I wrote a ticket for tent, you have to have a tent meter first of all to know the darkness. Some of us carry tent meters. Some of you can look at, but having a tent meter, you'll know as well. Um, the judge, once you write a ticket here, if I wrote a ticket for a tent law, the judges tell you to take it off, go outside and take it off your window. He'll dismiss the ticket at that point. But you have to pull the tent off the window prior to court, or he'll give the, well, according to the judge, what judge I took you before. One judge may go ahead and charge you with it. The other judge may tell you go outside and take the tent off the window, and they'll dismiss the ticket. Tent tickets were, man, I'm laughing at that today because I knew what that was. I was like, I ain't got shit to do. Look at this dark window. Let me get a look inside tent window. Let me see what's going on tent. Um, but tent violations, I would tell people, oh, I bought this. I bought this tent. It's legal. No, everything they sell, just because they sell it doesn't mean it's legal. There you can go buy a tent and put it on in most stores and most car places, but it's still illegal. Dark tent, darkening the front two windows and the I think it's the driver windows and the windshield. Um, but the tent laws were crazy. I think I only wrote maybe two tent tickets in my career with law enforcement, and they probably got kicked out because they took the tent off. That and tag lights. You know, you can't have the tag. That was another crazy ticket just to get a probable cause. Not probable cause, but reasonable suspicion, whatever activity. Um, if you just, crazy thing, they got the lights going around the car, lights, Um, you could not have, in South Carolina, your tag could not have no special lights going around with nothing covering the license plates, and that was ticketable also. So you had three crazy laws: the tent law, the windshield wiper in the rain law, headlights in the rain, tent, and then the tag lights and tag plates covering the tags. Couldn't have none of that on the back of the car. But yeah, I'll be back later, you guys. Talk about Blythewood, South Carolina. You guys check that story out. It's so sad, so sad. And guess what, guys? And I'll see you guys later. This is Justice React. Y'all came out this Sunday. Also, hey guys, celebrating my birthday, 62 years, God willing. I'll see you on Tuesday. Celebrating my birthday, starting on YouTube, moving it to Zoom. But we're going to be here at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, celebrating my 62nd years, 62 years. So I'll see y'all later. Y'all enjoy y'all Easter. Happy Easter. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your dinner. Be blessed. Um, and I'll see y'all soon. This is Justice React, and I'm gone.